this strange little habit of collecting things. Well, not just little knickknacks from here and there, but, well, I'm not sure if it's something to do with my Asperger's or something else. Like, I like to keep the same water bottles, for example, but that's not really collecting. That's just me not wanting to change the water bottle until I lose it. I've collected so much stuff that I don't have room for it. I've got to keep it in 3 different houses. But whether those things be little World of Warships keyrings, or pieces of glass from the heavy cruiser Haguro, it's all worth it to me. And the latest editions, well, hopefully they'll be joined by a few more. And thus the I don't have room argument. Let's add a little bit more light. What are the latest editions? Well, if you're old enough, if you've been subscribed to this channel long enough, you'll recognise this little knick-knack, Iona from Arpeggio of Blue Steel, who does not come from this. No. She comes from something a little bit less provocative. Not provocative, that's the wrong word. A little less extravagant. No. She comes from something that I'm not going to show because, well, reasons. Yeah, so I'm making pointless long intro, or is it really pointless? I don't know. Dusty. Need to clean it. Now, we're going to look at the latest editions. Move the Jaguar. But what are the latest editions? As you can tell, I've been skirting around them. Can you hear that? Can you? Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Okay, stop that before I get into copyright trouble. Yes, these are indeed a couple of very, very different and rather more expensive knickknacks. You may be wondering what the hell these are. Well, these are a couple of Star Trek ships, if you hadn't noticed, but they're different. And obviously, you've noticed how they're different, because instead of being USS Enterprise, it's ISS Enterprise. When was the last Star Trek ship to have yellow all over it? Well, yes, these are the Mirror Universe. Okay, I somehow managed to pause the recording there. These are the Mirror Universe Starship Enterprises, first seen in 1967. Season 2, Episode 5 of the original series. Seen 5 more times in Deep Space Nine, and twice more in Enterprise in 2005. That was well over 11 years ago now. And this is the most recent 11-year-old Starship Enterprise. Terran Starship Enterprise. And I'm doing a little bit of a review. What the hell did I just say? Review. Yes. These are the Eaglemoss ISS Enterprise NX-01 and ISS Enterprise NCC-1701. And both are, well, I have to say, whilst they do have a few errors and manufacturing defects, they are significantly well done. I don't know why I had to say significantly, I just did. So, we're going to take a little look at these little ships. And, well, it's a review, and we're going to point out the good things and the bad things. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a stand for this camera, so yes, very unstable. There's not much I can do about this. I may be able to improvise something. I guess that'll do. Things are at an angle now. And you're also probably looking at the door and wondering, what the hell? Why are there flowers all over the back of it? This used to be a child's room. Never forget that. And no, this was not my room growing up. Anyway. So, first you're going to look at ISS Enterprise NX-01. Now, one of the first things I've noticed about NX-01 is the rather intricate Aztec pattern. You can probably point it out. The dark bits and the much brighter silvery bits. I quite like that. It's got quite a intricate pattern. These yellow sort of ants' pincers really are quite accurate. Help to accentuate this ship's different background as a battle cruiser of the Terran Empire. And I never ever noticed these bits before. I never knew NX-01 ISS Enterprise had those little symbols there. Unfortunately, the pincers are the first real error, because they do ride up onto the to this pylon here. They're not supposed to. You can see where it's really supposed to meet, but it goes up onto the pylon, and it's not supposed to. When it comes to the deflector array, it's not very well detailed, but I guess you can't have it all. It is just a mangled mesh that I would expect, of the quality I would have expected on one of those old micro machines. I have some of those actually, but I'm not going to get them. It's the same sort of story with the impulse engines. They're just flat blue. No real detailing there. And if I'm not mistaken, there's supposed to be little impulse engines here. Underside is about as well as you can expect. You can see the torpedo bays, torpedo tubes even. We never really saw the underside of NX-01 and ISS Enterprise in A Mirror Darkly, so yeah. But even on the official model, how it was designed for the episode. It didn't have anything on the underside. So yeah, rather disappointing that it's so blank underneath, but can't have it all. Moving to the warp nacelles. This is where one of the major problems is. The rear of both these nacelles is rather poorly done. You can see there's a massive gap between in where this yellow thing is. It's just too small. And the general area is just of this back of the warp nacelle just isn't good. Oh, come on, focus. Focus. There. That's really quite disappointing. The rest of the nacelle, it's decent. But these red globules for the Broussard collectors are just not bright enough. It looks very dark there. Not particularly red enough, as far as I'm concerned. Much the same problem over here on the starboard nacelle, but the most problems are with the port nacelle. Some very confusing instructions as well when it comes to the magazine that came with this. It said that the stand had to go over the supports between, well, with these little wing bits. So sort of going on there. Problem is they don't fit. And after examination of some pictures, you find that they're actually supposed to go there. Or in these weird shuttle bay things. Even though... oh, come on, get off. Even though nothing was ever really launched from there in the series, if I remember correctly. Shuttle pods came from there. So that's NX-01. Parched. Next is the other ISS Enterprise, and there's more problems with this. For one, the model is quite a bit smaller than the NX-01. The stand is also a little finicky. It doesn't quite know where the center is. So, occasionally, go on, get back on again. Occasionally you'll get some sort of weird thing like this happen, almost, where it won't go straight on. The main problem with this is that one of the warp nacelles doesn't line up. As you can see, there's quite a disparity. The starboard nacelle is rather annoyingly wrong. Like, it's can't quite show it the right way. What was I doing? Where is it? How's it supposed to look? Come on. But yeah, where it's supposed to be is sort of relative to where the port nacelle is, and it's just wonky. So yeah, I'm afraid to do anything to reset it, or like put boiling water over it, lest unless because I might accidentally get rid of all the decals. Or is it paint? I just don't know if it's paint or decals or what. I'm also pretty certain that the secondary hull is a little off. Sort of rotated a few degrees. I don't know. You'd have to actually put your own eyes on it rather than just look at it through a camera. Also, of the 3 Terran Empire logos on it, emblems, these 2 are correct. And then somehow they managed to get it the wrong way round on the saucer section. So yeah, that's a little annoying. Otherwise, it's pretty exemplary. It's a good model. I don't like the fact that it's using red plastic for the deflector dish. I'd rather have it a copper brown piece of plastic than transparent red, but yeah, I like this. And I would recommend for a Trek collector. Of course, these are my first proper Star Trek models. And not the Micro Machine things that I got a few years ago, so yeah. But yeah, very good quality. Well, maybe not very good. I mean, they're certainly adequate. Few errors here and there, but otherwise they're very good over. Apart from these few errors, they're very good. And I like them. I don't think it's too hard to imagine other people liking them, so thank you for watching. Hope you've been able to understand the word I've been saying.